Hello, welcome back to Math Expedition 1. In this lesson, I'm talking about reduction of fraction, multiplication of fraction, and division of fractions. Note, to reduce a fraction, find/use a number that can divide the numerator and denominator without a remainder. So for instance, if we have a fraction that says x over y, the value of is the numerator and the value below is the denominator. So to reduce a fraction, we divide the numerator and the denominator with a common number. So like you can see here, 6 can divide 12 and 18 to give the reduced fraction 2 over 3. But you can use another method such as dividing both the numerator and denominator with the least value as you go. So for instance, since we have 12 over 18, we know that 2 can divide both the numerator and denominator without a remainder. So dividing by 2, 2 divided by 12 will have 6, and 2 divided by 18 will have 9. 2 can no longer divide the denominator but can divide the numerator. So we'll look for the next value that can divide both the numerator and denominator without a remainder, and that's 3. 3 divided by 6 is 2, and 3 divided by 9 is 3. So we are left with 2 over 3, and this is the reduced version of this fraction, which is same as 2 over 3. So the most important thing here is that you work with a value that can divide both the numerator and denominator without a remainder. So the fraction 36 over 84 can be reduced by first dividing the numerator and denominator by 3 and dividing them again by 4 to give 3 over 7. 36 over 84 can be divided by 2 since 2 can divide both the numerator and denominator without a remainder. But doing that here is going to take us a longer time to get to the reduced version of the fraction, which is 3 over 7. So what we simply do, we look at for a number that can divide both the numerator and denominator and use that value. So 3 divided by 36 is 12, and 3 divided by 84 is 28. 3 can no longer divide the numerator, so we'll go to the next number. 4 can divide both the numerator and denominator, so 4 divided by 12 is 3, and 4 divided by 28 is 7. So we end up with 3 over 7, just like we had here. So up next, we are on multiplication of fraction. Multiplication of fraction can be done using the reduced method or by simply multiplying straight. So let's simply multiply straight and also use the reduced method. So here we'll have 6 over 2. So just simply multiply them. 6 times 2 is 12, and 4 times 3 is also 12. So divide them. 12 divided by 12 is just 1, or you can say 1 over 1, which is also same thing as 1. This is because if 12 persons share 12 items, they will all receive 1. And note, whenever you have a number dividing itself, the answer is always 1. For instance, x over x is equal to 1. 20 over 20 is also equal to 1. Whenever a value is dividing itself, the answer is always 1. So let's check out the reduced method. Here we have 6 over 4 multiplied by 2 over 3. You can simply cancel out to reduce the fraction. So here we can have that 2 here is 1 and 2 here is 2. 3 here is 1 and 3 here is 2. You can multiply at 2 times 1 is 2 over 2 times 1 is also 2. You can as well cancel out here. 2 here is 1 and 2 here is 1. But that is the same thing we'll do here. 2 here is 1 and 2 here is 1. So now we are left with 1 over 1. And 1 over 1 is the same thing as 1. I hope you understood. So the take home point here is whenever you have a fraction multiplying, you just multiply them straight, or you cancel out to reduce the fraction. So let's do some more examples. Up next, we have 16 over 30 multiplied by 70 over 24. As you can see, 4 can divide 16 to give us 4, and as well divide 24 to give us 6. 2 can still divide. 2 here is 2 and 2 here is 3. So nothing can divide both of them again. We can just cancel out the zeros here, and we are left with 2 times 7 is 14, and 3 times 3 is 9. And as you can see, nothing can divide them further, so we can stop there. We've multiplied this fraction and reduced its division of fractions. To divide fractions, we either use the far near method, or we simply take the reciprocal of the second fraction and then multiply. So we are going to use the FAFA linear method for the able fraction, and then we will use the reciprocal of the fraction for the second question. So let's do that together. Here you have that 5 over 3 divided by 4 over 8. This is also another way of saying that 5 over 3 divided by 4 over 8. So the FAFA linear simply says the far values multiply themselves and the closer values multiply themselves. So let's do that here and see. You have that 5 multiplied by 8 all over 3 multiplied by 4. 5 times 8 is 40 and 3 multiplied by 4 is 12. So let's reduce this fraction by looking at for a value that can divide both the numerator and denominator without a remainder. 4 can go. So 4 into 40 is 10 and 4 into 12 is 3. So we have 10 over 3 as our final answer and a reduced fraction. Let's still solve this question using the other method and see if we have the same answer. For the other method that says we use the reciprocal of the second fraction and multiply. So here we have 5 over 3 divided by 4 over 8. So what you simply do is we have 5 over 3, then we take the reciprocal of the second fraction. Second fraction is 4 over 8, but now we have the reciprocal as 8 over 4. That being said, it simply means take the numerator down and bring the denominator up. So we just kind of flip or swap. So this changes to multiplication. Let me do that. So having done that, we can now multiply straight. 5 times 8 is 40 and 3 times 4 is 12. So you see that the FAFA linear method and the reciprocal method is actually the same. Over 16 divided by 28 over 6. So FAFA, this is the farthest fraction, and near are the nearer fractions. So we have 21 multiplied by 6 all over 16 multiplied by 28. So to do this, I will use the aid of a calculator. So 21 multiplied by 6 gives 126 all over 16 times 28 gives 448. So this is our answer. But then we can also cancel out if we want to reduce the fraction. So this is more like saying 21 over 16 multiplied by 6 over 28. It is exactly the same thing. So 7 here, because 7 can divide 21 and 28. 7 here is 3. 7 here is 4. 2 can divide 6. 2 into 6 is 3. And 2 into 16 is 8. So we can now multiply out to have 3 times 3 is 9 all over 8 times 4 is 32. For the second method, here we take the reciprocal of the second fraction. We have 21 over 16 divided by 28 over 6. So taking the reciprocal of the second fraction, we have 21 over 16, 6 over 28. Then we can now multiply. So at this point, you can just cancel out. 2 here is 8, 2 here is 3, 7 here is 3, and 7 here is 4. So multiplying out, 3 times 3 is 9, and 8 times 4 is 32. So as you can see, both method gives you the same answer. So why I give both method is for you to work with the one that works best for you. So any of the method you are comfortable working with, use that method. But having said that, both method works perfectly well, and I use both methods. So let's do more examples before you get to attend to some task. 3 over 8 divided by 2 over 6. So I wish to use the FAFA linear method here. That will be 3 over 8 all over 2 over 6. So the FAFA values are 3 and 6, and the linear values are 8 and 2. So having that, we can say 3 multiplied by 6 all over 8 multiplied by 2. I can simply cancel out here. 2 here is 4 and 2 here is 3. So I can have 3 times 3 is 9 and 4 times 2 is 8. For this other one, I will use the reciprocal of the second fraction. So 7 over 3 multiply by 10 over 2. As you can see here, 10 was the denominator, but right now 10 is the numerator. 3 cannot divide 10. There is no value that can divide 10 and 3. Therefore, I will not cancel out. There is no value that can divide 7 and 2. Therefore, I will not cancel out. So I will just simply multiply straight. 7 times 10 is 70, and 3 times 2 is 6. At this very point, 2 can cancel out. So 2 here is 35. All over 2 here is 3. And we can just stop here. Now we have a task. I want you to simply pause this video and do this task yourself before you play it to see me solve it. For the first one, we have 9 over 2 divided by 6 over 4. So using 5 and linear method, I will have that 9 multiplied by 4 all over 2 multiplied by 6. 2 here is 1, 2 here is 2, 3 here is 2, and 3 here is 3. So what I simply did was to reduce this fraction by using a value that can divide both of these values and using another value that can divide both of these. So having said that, I'll end up with 3 times 2 is 6, and then 1 times 2 is 2. 2 here is 1, 2 here is 3. So we'll have 3 over 1, and 3 over 1 is just something as saying 3. So the simple hack here is, whenever you have a fraction, try as much as you can to reduce that fraction to its lowest form. It makes it easy for you to work with. So for the next value, we have 18 over 24. I want to use the reciprocal of the second fraction, multiply by 12 over 15. So you can multiply straight or you cancel out. 24 can be divided by 6 or 4. So let's try using 6. 6 here is 2, and 6 here is 4. 3 here is 5. 3 here is 6. So let's multiply out first. So have 6 multiplied by 2 over 4 multiplied by 5. 2 here is 2, and 2 here is 1. We'll have 6 times 1 is 6, and 2 times 5 is 10. So you can still cancel out. 2 here is 3, and 2 here is 5. For the next question, we have 4 over 3 multiplied by 6 over 8. You can cancel out. 3 here is 1, 3 here is 2, 4 here is 1, and 4 here is 2. So multiplying out, 1 times 2 is 2, all over 1 times 2 again is 2. Dividing the both values by 2, 2 here is 1, 2 here is 1. So we'll end up with 1 over 1, which is exactly the same thing as 1. Note, whenever 1 is the denominator of a fraction, that fraction is just the numerator. This is to say that if a fraction is 5 over 1, it's something like just 5, it's as good as 5. If it is 6 over 1, it's as good as 6. Having said that, I believe this was helpful. So finally, we have more examples, and this is the last slide. So I want you to just hang on a little bit. So for here, we'll have negative 2 multiplied by negative 9 over 7. So what you simply do, in multiplication of fraction, we just multiply straight. 2 times 9 is 18. But mind you, we'll have negative signs. Minus times minus is plus, and there is no need to write plus. So all over 7. And they cannot divide themselves. This is our final answer for this. Here we'll have 1 over 2 multiplied by negative 7 over 5. So let's multiply. 1 times 7 is 7. We'll have a positive here. Positive times negative is negative, and then 2 times 5 is 10. And that is our answer. Here we'll have 1 over 6 divided by negative 5 over 3. So we can have 1 over 6 all over negative 5 over 3. So using the 5 and linear method, we have 1 times 3 all over 6 multiplied by negative 5. So from this very point, 1 times 3 is 3, and 6 times 5 is 30. But we have to put a negative sign. So we can cancel that. 3 here is 1, and 3 into 30 is 10. So finally, we can end up with negative 1 over 10. That's our final answer. So for the last question that says negative 2 over 9 divided by negative 3 over 2. Taking the reciprocal of the second fraction, we have multiplied by 2 over minus 3. So from this very point, 2 times 2 is 4. But because the negative is multiplied with negative, we have minus 4. 9 times 3 is 27, but because a positive is multiplying negative, we'll have negative 27. These negatives can cancel out since they are dividing, and we'll end up with 4 over 27, and nothing can divide more. And we have come to the end of this lesson. Check the community for more practice questions and check the previous videos. Thank you.